Well, there is never a dull moment when it comes to Tesla. And certainly yesterday was an example of never a dull moment when you're an investor with Tesla. So, what did happen on June 30th? Well, that was the last time that Tesla was at 260. So we've only really had 21 days since we were back at 260. Yeah, I know once you get that wealth in your hands and you're counting it, you're counting your money on the table, which you're never supposed to do. It's hard to give it back up. But guess what, folks? This is the world of Tesla. All right. So I did expect a Tesla sell-off yesterday. I said I expected a Tesla sell-off multiple times. I did not expect that big of a one-day drop. I was honestly shocked by that. I will spell out what I think is going on and what I think will happen in the next few days, in the next week or so. As Elon says, and I'm paraphrasing here, the economy is weird and very hard to understand right now. I would agree with that, although I think, well, I can't promise that I understand it, and I certainly can't promise that I can predict it, because you never know when we might have some crazy thing like starting a war in the Ukraine. All right. So for months, this is Randy Kirk, by the way. I should mention that. I should ask you to like. I should ask you to subscribe. I should ask you to hit notify. Yes, Larry Goldberg will be with me tonight to discuss this past week, which should be what a program that's going to be. And we'll have Brian White on. We'll have Brian Wang on. We'll have Renee is going to come back. I got Renee coming back. So much going on this weekend and next week. You're not going to want to miss anything. So hit that notify button, and then Patreon. Remember, the goal is to get to 100. Had another Patreon sign up yesterday. We're moving towards that 100 number, in the mid 70s now somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where. Anyway, so come on now. We want to get up to, and it's free, 7 days free. And it's only $5 a month if you decide to join permanently. All right. Let's look into it here. I got a lot this morning for you. I'm sorry. So let's jump in. For months, we've now seen the Nasdaq racing ahead of the Dow. Ever since the Nasdaq announced the rebalance, however, that reversed. Okay. This is key. Yesterday was a metaphor, with the Dow up 163 and the Nasdaq down 295. That was exactly what's been going on for the last 2 weeks since the Nasdaq announced the reset. Prior to that, the Nasdaq would be up and the Dow would be down, or the Nasdaq would be way up at a percentage basis compared to the Dow. This even looked worse yesterday, where the Dow was up 0.5% and the Nasdaq was down 2+%. Well, Tesla was down hard after this drop, but it wasn't just Tesla. It was Google down 2.65%, Microsoft down 2.3%, Apple down 1%, Amazon down 4%, Meta down 4.27%, and Nvidia down 3.3%. Well, did they all have rough earnings calls? No. This was a massive sell-off of the Nasdaq yesterday, because on Monday we have a rebalancing. Now, I'm going to agree that there's a possibility that there's also some kind of a move out of techs and into the industrials and into the food stocks and this kind of stuff. That could be part of it. I don't think that's a long-term trend. Yes, there could be some move in and out of that, as people are like, okay, the techs are out over their skis and it's time to sell off a little of that tech and get into something a little more, solid, as they used to call it, the industrials. Well, what could be more solid than Microsoft and Apple? And go down the list. Okay, so on a normal day, after earnings that were a beat and then not a great call, I would say Tesla would be down 10 points, especially after running up 100 to 300 from 100 to 300. I would certainly expect it to be down 10 points. But I didn't expect down 28 or 10%. No way. Options trading in Tesla was almost 15% of all options action yesterday, with many trading the $400 September calls. What does that tell you? What does somebody know about when Cybertruck's coming out or something? September 400 calls were a huge trade yesterday. What is going on with that? 400. I'd be happy with 400 in September, wouldn't you? Anyway, so a lot of stuff going on yesterday that was affecting the stock. We had a lot of call action. We had a lot of put up action. We had a lot of rebalancing action. We had a lot of possibly trading out of techs action just in general. Maybe the Nasdaq started that. So in other words, when the Nasdaq said they needed to rebalance, people took another look at their portfolio and went, maybe the techs have gone up too much and I could take some profits. So, oh yeah, profit taking, normal profit taking. Oh my goodness, if you've got a stock like Tesla that's gone from 100 to 300, it's natural and normal to look for an opportunity to bail out. And that was yesterday. So once it got started, it just kept on going. So I'm saying profit taking, yes. Rebalancing, yes. A rotation out of tech and industrials, not sure yet, but at least maybe for a time. Not a great call, yes. Bond yields sharply up yesterday, yes. Was that a capitulation to the Fed increase coming on next Wednesday? Yes. The Russia-Ukraine war, somebody suggested? No, because otherwise the Dow would have been down too. All right. In the general financial news, we have consumer confidence up to highs not seen since 2021. But then you have the index of leading indicators falling. I forget how many months in a row, 17 months in a row or some crazy number like that, but I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. You can put it in the comments if you know, but a lot of months in a row, like similar to before the 2008 recession. So the conference of leading indicators, the index of indicating leaders from the conference board is suggesting that we're going into a recession for sure. I think maybe they need to take a look at their methods because I don't see the recession. I have called it 7 months ago. When I started this channel, I was almost immediately saying, no recession, no recession. We're not going to have a recession. I called it anyway, we're not going to have a recession. There's no chance we're going to have a recession. In fact, what we saw was another drop in the number of people being laid off yesterday. So we're not going to have a recession. In fact, I mentioned yesterday, please keep watching this. This is going to be the new one to watch is with the labor market this tight, how do we get back into a boom economy next year, which I think we will have by March, by April, we're going to be back booming again. How do we get in that boom economy? Where's the labor going to come to support that? All right. Here's a super interesting report from Bank of America that supports another one of my theses. They reported huge inflows of capital into cash like money market accounts taking place over the last 7 or 8 months until July, or actually late June. And then all of a sudden the money flow reversed and was going out of the money markets and out of treasuries into obviously tech stocks. That was what was taking place. So that money was flowing, as I said, it would come off the sidelines. $5.2 trillion sitting on the sidelines, all-time record high, just getting itchy fingers and looking for that new opportunity. Well, I'm going to tell you what, right now, I believe that those itchy fingers are really there now. And I believe for the rest of this year, that money is going to be flowing in, and it's going to be flowing into tech, but it's going to be flowing into everything. It's going to broaden out as people want to catch the second leg of the bull and start finding those opportunities where stocks are undervalued, beaten down, and there's plenty of them. Look at Cathie Wood stocks. I had a big Twitter argument with people yesterday about Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood stocks, I think, are a great buy. That is not investment advice. Do your own homework. So I think the economy is perfectly positioned. I think there's a small chance that the Fed could raise or threaten to raise in September, and that could create some unnecessary chaos. But with the true inflation index at 2.13 this morning, year over year, I can't believe that the Fed isn't one and done. They are one and done. No chance they're raising in September unless something crazy happens with inflation. All right, between now and then. So what about Tesla? Tesla is up slightly this morning, or it was last time I checked. I'm just going to look real quick right now just for fun. See, it's down slightly now. I mean, slightly, like 19 cents. The market opened, the Nasdaq opened much higher. I mean, higher, and then has been heading lower. I think that Tesla, it's possible that Tesla could drop and test 255 or even lower. I'd be shocked. I don't think that's going to happen. Some say it might test 217. Anything is possible, but I'd say that's really, really low odds of that happening. I would say fractional, little tiny odds of that happening. I think it's going to probably today, it's going to bounce around 265. I'll talk about that more in a minute. So the rebalance happens on Monday. We have options trading today. Going to be a crazy day. I think it's going to be all over the place today. The market should move ahead with the Fed baked in over the next few days. But everybody's going to be looking at the Fed statement and how hawkish they are. That's going to be what's going to happen. All right. We had a bunch of Tesla price target revisions yesterday. As a reason, those alone should have caused Tesla stock to go up yesterday, should be causing Tesla stock to go up today. Listen to this. Wedbush raised their Tesla price target to 350. They become the highest on the street. That was a raise from 350 to 350 from 300. Dives Tech cited fresh optimism about Elon Musk's golden vision for the company, including AI and charging revenue. JP Morgan reaffirmed its sell rating on Tesla with a price target of $120. I'm sorry, that was the only negative one. I should have set that up better. Okay, Truist Securities raised their Tesla price target all the way to 254 from 245. Mizuho Securities raised their price target to 330 from 300, maintained a buy rating. Deutsche Bank raised theirs to 300 from 260 with a buy rating. We remain bullish. China unveils for a new stimulus to, I'm sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of looking at my notes this morning. Okay. In other news that should impact Tesla stock in a positive way, China unveiled plans yesterday for a new stimulus to help boost sales of autos and electronics. We don't have any details on that yet, but that actually caused oil prices, well, at least that's what people are saying, caused oil prices to bump up a little bit because China's weak demand, their weak economy, has been one of the reasons oil has been staying where it is. Yes, maybe okay if you say so. I think it has a lot to do with the dollar because oil has been trading in a teeny tiny range for a month now of like 273 to 277. What did I just say? 73 to 77. It's been like in that tight range for quite a long time now. It's going nowhere. So with the expiration today, traders trying to reposition themselves on the rebalancing from Monday, I think we'll have a roller coaster day. I think Tesla will have a lot more of this options action today. Should be a lot of volume today, but I think things are going to be all over the place. So Tesla should, based on fundamentals, start moving up around Thursday. Now it could move up before that. It could move way down before that and then move back up. Really, who knows this week? It is going to be one of those weeks, so much activity going on that could impact specifically Tesla after earnings. But long-term, historically, after a good earnings report, regardless of how bad or good the call was, people begin to look at Elon, the honest guy, the transparent guy, and they start looking into what was really underneath what he was saying. That was a very bullish report, and the potential for this company is massive, regardless of what happens this quarter. I'm going to make an argument later. I've already done some of my analysis. I think we're up 30 cents on the profit next quarter and another 30 cents in the fourth quarter. Let that sink in. Okay. So, I think, we'll get back towards 300. Whenever we get the announcement about the handover, we will go towards 350. I do not see 400 September unless the Cybertruck is so mind-blowing, and I think it'll be mind-blowing, but it would have to just blow everybody's mind in order for the stock to be heading towards 400 before next year. I continue to be looking at 400 for January. Remember, none of this is investment advice. Okay, let's take a look here and see where we are as I sign off here. Let me go to the top of the page. The Dow is now down, with the Nasdaq barely up. And earlier this morning, the Nasdaq was way up, so the Nasdaq has been dropping like a rock. The S&P is also just barely up. Apple barely up. Google barely up. Amazon barely up. Okay, now let's go down and take a look at Tesla. Down 23 cents. It was up $4, $3. Now it's like it's down 23 cents. I see a roller coaster taking place all day today. Let's run over real quick and see if there's any changes in what's going on with the basics in the so we've got the crypto barely up, and it was up higher. Dollar continues to be flat. Gold is down, and that down sharply. That's interesting. We have oil up a little bit, but again, $76. So right where it's been. Bonds down. And that would be the 10-year at least. The 2-month is up a penny. And I'm sorry, the 2-month is down is up a penny. The 2-year is down also, but the 10-year is down fairly sharply. Yeah, watch for a very, very interesting day today. And then on Monday, after the rebalancing, who knows? I mean, there's no way to guess. We don't know who's going to be impacted the most. Bank of America said NVIDIA would be impacted, and I forget one other one they thought would be the most impacted. It wasn't Amazon, it wasn't Apple. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, but Bank of America doesn't know. They're guessing. Nobody knows. The Nasdaq knows, and they have not reported. They're not telling us. Will they tell us tonight, or will they wait till Monday morning? I don't know. All right, that's all I got for you today. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify. Great talent coming on today. You do not want to miss tonight with Larry Goldberg, as we take a look back at this nutty week and a slight look ahead at what's going to happen next week. Brian Wang has a completely new look, a completely new take on Tesla. You're not going to want to miss this. It is incredible. It is wild. I was blown away by it. That's going to be probably tomorrow morning. It might be Sunday morning. Not 100% sure yet. So you're going to want to hit notify. You're going to want to hit subscribe. And then you're going to want to join the bandwagon. Everybody's joining the bandwagon. I'm going to be putting up more brand new detail, brand new unique stuff on Patreon. You want to get onto Patreon. Buy the book. Buy the book. Buy the book. It has been wonderful talking to you this morning.